Hi everybody, unboxing of a Satajet X5500, 5500. Now, for those of you who've watched most of my videos, you'll probably be surprised that I've got this, and I'm quite surprised at myself really, but I know a good friend of mine who has told me how good they are, so I thought, well, you know, I'll get one and find out. Now, they're horrendously expensive. Got it from Spray Guns Direct. I'd pay for it. They give me a good price, as they do with most things, I think. But you know, I'm not a favoured customer. I pay for it and get it the normal way. So, you know, there's no, you know, I'm not favouring anybody really. It's just I'm telling you like it is. I got it from Spray Guns Direct, and they give good service normally. So anyway, another thing I've got to say is this is actually the second time, put my glass on, I'll be able to see what I'm doing. It's actually the second time that I'm unboxing this, because the first time I didn't have the sound on. There's a little icon on the screen of the camera, and sometimes when you're putting it on your head you touch it. Anyway, so here we are. So what do you get in the box? You get a warranty, which is a 1 year plus 2. So standard warranty is 1 year. You get an extra year, 2 years, so it's 3 years in total. You have to, I think you can fill it in online. I mean, this looks like it's a manual, you know, something you write down, but I think you can fill it in online. So you get that. You get these, was it RPS, I think? Yeah, PPS is the 3M, RPS is the SATA versions. You get a small one and a larger one with a seal and the actual bottom of the cup which goes into the gun. I don't use these, so you know, I won't use those, but that's what you get. I think it's a bit of a con really. I mean, we're talking a lot of money with this anyway, but it's a bit of a con really that they don't give you a cup. But again, Spray Guns Direct, as I say, I'm not sponsored by them, but they give you a good price. If you buy the gun from them, they give you a good price on the cup. So I got a cup at the same time because it wasn't that expensive really, well, comparatively anyway. So you get that. You get in this, you'll see this is open because, as I said, I've already done this video once but realised I didn't have the sound on. So you get the spanner, which is a plastic spanner, which is, I think, is a good idea because obviously metal on metal is not such a good idea. This is how we mainly do it, of course, I know that, but it's not such a good idea. What else do you get in here? You get different colour adapters for the guns so that you can, you know, have one for clear, one for wet on wet, or whatever you're doing, you know, base coat or whatever you want to use them for. Little cleaning brush and a filter. I normally don't use the filters, I filter the paint on the way in. So that's what you get. You get a pretty hefty book, which I presume nobody reads, but it's there if you wanted to, in many languages, if you are intelligent enough to speak different languages, which unfortunately I'm not. One of the subscribers actually put some comments down and said, "Excuse my English," and I thought to myself, well, I wish I could speak in more than one language, but I can't anyway. So you get, it's basically a service thing, I think, SATA guarantee. Yeah, it goes with that. It's the different service centres around the world, I presume. You should get, as I said, I've already done this once, so I know basically what's in here. You get the Euro fitting, so you can get a few different fittings. You can get the US one, the Euro, and a British fitting, but I use the Euro fitting, so that's ideal for me. What you'll see in there is that they've got a small nylon ring at the bottom, so it's quite a quality item, that, and it means that when you put it on, you don't have to worry about using PTFE tape, because obviously the bottom of the gun will locate and butt up against that sealing ring, so you don't get any air leak and no messy tape about. Now you get these, which are spare, as far as I know anyway, they are spare sealing rings for the tip, which is a good idea because I know the ANIR 150 use these sort of sealing rings. The FLG5, the Vilbis use these sort of sealing rings. On the bottom of the, you know, or around the tip, a crushable, effectively a crushable nylon washer. So that's quite a good idea really, I think anyway. So let's have a look at what we're paying all this money for. and that's this gun. Now, as I say, I've actually taken this out before anyway. Yeah, that is it, isn't it? Let's put that away. So I got tip size, but I got a 1.2i. Now, I only do mostly smaller stuff, so I didn't want the O pattern. Tends to be a bit more of a hose, I think, a bit more of a cannon than the eyes. That's the way I understand it anyway. And certainly the guy I know's got an eye. And I want it in RP, not HVLP, because it's going to be a clear gun, and normally RP is for clear, and HVLP you would normally use for base. So the 1.2, I'm thinking a 1.2 is about equivalent to a 1.3, 1.4 on the GTI Pro Lite, because Sata actually they come up small, if that makes sense. They say 1.2, but they're bigger, or come up big, whichever way you want to say it. But let's put that out of the way. So you get the little Sata label. So here's the gun, and this is what you're paying all this money for. So a little cover. One little thing I'll say is, as I say, I bought this separately. I haven't actually fitted this yet, or used it. I presume it's a real, yeah, it is a real Sata pot. As I say, you get it for a good price. If you buy the gun from Spray Gun Storage, you actually get it for a good price. But this fitting here is the same as the 440. I've got a 440 as well. So if you've got one of the smaller Satas, which I don't actually get on with the 440 much at all, but I've got it, and I tend not to sell my stuff when I get most of it anyway. FLG5 I sold, but anyway, so I've got a smaller cup already, which a lot of the times will suit me. But you know, even 1.2 or being 1.3, 1.4 in other manufacturers, it will go through a little pot quite quickly. But then again, most of the stuff I do is quite small. So what have we got? We got the nozzle. Yep, nothing really to see there. Two holes in the air horn. Smaller one at the bottom, bigger one at the top. 3 holes that side, 3 holes that side. That little, like a little dent there, I don't know what that is, but that's actually on my 440 as well. So there's obviously a reason for that. That cap feels really heavy, really heavy. That's a plastic ring, but that's not a plastic cap. I reckon that's some kind of aluminium. I don't think it's magnesium because it's too light, unless that is some kind of magnesium alloy, or maybe it's aluminium. That's brass, that's why it's so heavy, I think. So that's that. Now I know they've done away, what do I do with a spanner? I know they've done away with the packing. There's like a packing gland underneath here, which on the 440's got, and the 5000's got as well, as far as I know. This, I've done it again. See, I keep doing this for the camera. Somebody's pulled me up on it on YouTube, and it's not a good thing to do. You need to take these needles out before you take the tip off. At least relieve the pressure in the needles so that it's not touching the tip. You don't. What can happen is that you spin this round loads of times on there, and you eventually wear this. Doing it once or twice, you'll get away with it. But I think I always remember to do it when I'm cleaning the guns. It's easy to do, but when I'm doing one of these videos, you sort of like jump ahead of yourself. That's what it seems to be anyway. Enough of that. So here's a sealing ring, and that's the little packet that you get, spare sealing rings. I think you'll find if you scan that, it tells you how to replace it, but it's just pushed in there by the looks of it. But it's probably best to do it the right way. When you're dealing with this sort of money, it's probably best to do it the right way. So there's no, on the other ones there's a plastic baffle in the front here, and when you want to clean them, they have like a little sprung loaded adapter, which, oh, I say sprung loaded, it's just spring steel, just goes in, turns to remove the black cover, which you don't get that thing with it, so you'd have to get that separately. So to mark on it there, so to not have to do that is quite a good idea, really. I think you know, it's much less maintenance. It's literally the seals there. which is what I like about the ANI R150s. Although they're obviously cheapish guns compared to something like this, there's just not that many sort of parts in the nose to change, which has changed with the 160. The 160 is not as mechanically friendly, I would say. So I chose the digital version. As far as I know, the batteries are in it. Small scratch on it there. I don't know whether they're put in at the factory or whether they put them in at the Spray Guns Direct, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I mean, not much else to show you really. Let's hook up the air supply and we'll just see the gauge working. So where's that? Okay, so I've just let the compressor build up and I'm going to put this back together. I did start just putting it back together and I thought, oh no, maybe you'd like to see it on camera, so here we are. So that is really weighty, that cap. The gun's very light. I imagine the gun's magnesium alloy anyway. I quite like the way that fastens. It's only literally, what is it, about 1.5 turns? Yeah, 1.5 turns. Cup similar. You literally just put it on and you don't need to do it up too tight. You can adjust the fan there. So let's just put a bit of Vaseline on, obviously leaving off the front of the needle in here. There's already some white grease on the threads here, and now this is the part that always seems a problem for me as to why they would do it with Sata, and it's having your thread directly in the gun. Normally you get some kind of you get like an assembly that screws into the gun, so you adjust the needle, and what it's doing is it's actually moving within the assembly. So if there's something to go wrong, you can unscrew the whole assembly, but with this you're actually continually screwing in and out the gun, and I just can't see that's good for longevity. Although my mate tells me not to worry about it because he's had Satas for a few years, or a fair few years, and does lots of stuff, and he's never had any problem with at all with them wearing. So that's that. Like so, give that a bit more, and I'll just do like I said before, I'll hook it up to the air and we'll see the air gauge working, and I think that'll be about it. Where's the end? Jesus. Turn it down. I think that's what you do anyway, yeah. You can see that. Flitting between, I would imagine you'd be forever trying to get it exactly at 2, but it's flitting between 2 and 1.9. And obviously as your compressor loses some of its air before it comes back on again, it's going to go between those. But yeah, reasonably okay. So yeah, that's going to be about right. So there you have it, the Sata 550. Now I will be doing some stuff with it, but I don't have loads of uses for miniguns, but I really wanted one. One of the problems I get with the 440 is my thumb hits the wheel, and that's not going to happen with this. My mate brought his one round for me to try physically, not actually to spray with, to try physically, and the thumb's miles away, so that's going to be fine because you're going to be like this. Whereas with the minigun, your thumb is literally all over this and it moves it around. Anyway, okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Cheers, bye bye.